Hello everyone. Today we will be presenting on high resolution measurements of face-to-face contact patterns in a primary school. The presentation is made by Divita, Ruben and Vyusti for Big Data Analysis course. The role of school-going children in community spread of respiratory infections has been a challenging epidemiological issue. Little quantitative information is available on mixing patterns of children in school environment. Thus, describing and understanding contacts between children at school requires quantification of the transmission opportunities of respiratory infections and identifications of situations within schools where the risk of transmission is higher. Methodology. The study was conducted in a primary school in France. It was conducted over 2 days, October 1st and 2nd of the year 2009. The instruments used were RFID devices embedded in unobtrusive wearable badges, which exchanged radio packets when the wearer were face to face with each other in a close proximity. The participants were 232 students plus 10 teachers. The findings: classes within the same grade tend to be more connected than classes belonging to different grades, and that the teachers aren't the most influential of the people in a school. Data visualization on Gephi. Here we have the data visualization of the data collected over the 2 days. The day 1, the edges are ranked based on count. On the image on the left side, the edges partition based on duration of the day 1 data. The second image is of day 1 data and the test runs on it. Nodes, these are the day 2 data and the nodes the size of nodes based on closeness centrality. The second image consists of data from the day 1 and the node size based on eigenvector centrality. The image on left is day 2 data and the node size depend on betweenness centrality, the color based on closeness, and text based on eigenvector centrality. The image right next to it consists of test run on the data of the test of the day 2. Analysis. Eccentricity. From the data laboratory we can see from the table that almost every fourth student knows the other student. Betweenness centrality. Data from both days show us that teachers who are known to interact with students on a regular basis aren't necessarily the one who are the common factors. There are actually certain students who are at the center and connect to a greater number of students and teachers in the network, which is likely to cause an increase in the infection spread across the school. Modularity. On an average, there are 4.5 communities in a school, that is, clusters based on grades. Graph intensity. There is a higher density of interaction among the students of a particular grade as compared to interaction among students belonging to different grades. Closeness centrality. Through this we can see that students belonging to one class, for instance first grade, are more connected among themselves rather than being connected to the other classes. Eigenvector centrality. This shows that teachers aren't necessarily the most influential people in the school network. Somehow, some of the students have a greater influence on other students in the school rather than the teachers of the classes. Now moving on to comparison between the data collected on day 1 and day 2 and the analysis on them. So statistical quantities such as average total number and durations of contacts, the number of different persons contacted, or the contact durations are extremely close across the 2 days. Each child on average has 26 repeated contacts on the second day with children he met during the first day, 19 in the same class and 7 in a different class, and new contacts with 20 other children, 1.4 in the same class and 18.4 in a different class. Public health implications in the field of infectious diseases. Our results show that children mix preferentially with children within their age group. This effect, known as age homophily, is largely due to the fact that children study together and have the same schedule, and represent a general feature studied in various contexts by sociologists. These results may help to advise public decision makers on interventions aimed at containing or mitigating the propagation of communicable diseases at the level of schools, in particular in case of epidemic or a pandemic. The fact that a child spends 3 times more time in contact with classmates than with children of other classes suggests, for instance, that closing selected classes instead of the whole school could be a viable alternative. Now, the limitations to this study were the possibility that children changed their behavior because they were wearing badges and knew that they were participating in a scientific measure. From a public health perspective, it has to be emphasized that the collected data provide information on the mutual proximity of badges, therefore of the persons wearing the badges, and not on the occurrence of physical contacts. The short period of time, that is the 2 days of data collection, also limits the ability to draw conclusion on what happens at a longer time scales. Thank you.